Hey guys, this is Kamau Bell with The Verge, and I'm at South by Southwest with the comedian Kamau Bell, and we're going to talk about a couple things.
A couple things, yes. The new show with Kamau Bell.
Oh yeah. So you actually have a new show. It's on CNN. That was just announced.
Yeah, it's not on yet, unless somebody has done something without telling me.
Or in the future now.
It's on, and it's been a hit. You guys all know it's on the cover of every magazine.
Oh yeah.
It's the United Shades of America.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a racing culture travel show.
I mean, that's not a new topic for you at all.
No. Those three, I'm familiar with all those things: race, culture, and traveling. So I do those things regularly. It's just now I'm bringing a camera crew with me everywhere I go.
All right. So like you're going to be visiting cities and talking to people about like the issues of the day.
The issues of their day, basically. The issues that are going on in their place, and also just experiencing different cultures that I wouldn't experience without CNN's travel budget. So, it's an opportunity to sort of, one of the things that people most enjoyed from Totally Biased that I hear about is the man on the street interviews. And so this just takes that concept and blows it out into a whole show where I'm talking to people about their thing. This is a much smaller crew than Totally Biased. Like you needed a lot of all hands on deck to do a daily show. But this is a much smaller like film crew. And it's also not, it's a funny show, but it's not based in mostly the writing, it's based in the interactions with the people. So it's not a thing where it's not written like that. It's just talking to people, and because I'm a comedian and I can get people to open up about stuff, we find things that are funny. And then I just do things in every town that I have fun doing, and sometimes those things look ridiculous and people laugh at them.
Is it like it's coming out of the process of you being Totally Biased and then a connection of Cop Talk, which you talked about before?
It swirls around. People who know me and like me will like this show. It's just this is the show, like Totally Biased was the thing that sort of, I got an opportunity to do that, and I was happy to do it and happy to pursue it and drive it till the wheels fell off, and they fell off. But this show, if I'm honest, is actually like a show, I had an idea for a show like this before Totally Biased ever came around, because I'm a big fan of Anthony Bourdain, and I'm a big fan of sort of that, it's half journalism, but also half the personality of the person. So it's like you learn something when you watch it, but then it's also about, you get to hang out with Anthony Bourdain or Mike Rowe or Lisa Ling or these shows where it's like, follow me, go through this thing.
Sure.
And it's not the news, but you do get to learn something and experience something. So I've always been a fan of those types of shows and always felt like I could do well at one of those shows. And then luckily the training I got from Totally Biased from doing the man on the street interviews sort of set me up for that. Because I don't think I would have been as good as I feel like I'm being at this show if I hadn't had that time on Totally Biased to do all those man on the street interviews, which initially I was pretty scared of, just walking up to people on the street and saying, hey, can I talk to you about racism? So I feel comfortable sort of talking to people and very quickly sort of figure out a rapport.
Okay.
So yeah, it certainly feels like I got trained to do this from Totally Biased, and I'm taking the thing that overwhelmingly people said from Totally Biased that they really dug, and turning it into a whole show, and still beginning to do it. I'm not competing. The thing about having a late night talk show is suddenly you're competing against other late night talk shows. And there's this sort of sense of like, Kamau, why can't you call Justin Timberlake and have him lip sync songs with you on your show? It's like, because I wasn't on Saturday Night Live for 10 years. I don't have a Rolodex of all the most famous people in Hollywood. And also it's not my thing.
Right.
But now this show is not really, I mean, you have to get ratings on stuff, but it's not competing directly against anybody's thing.
Right.
It's its own thing. And all the shows that it would sort of be naturally competing against are on the same network. Like it's Morgan Spurlock, Anthony Bourdain, Lisa Ling, Mike Rowe. All those people are on the same network as me, so I'm not going to be going up against them. Right. It's all part of the same team.
So at that point, it's freeing.
Yeah, it's free. It's a lot. We've shot 4 episodes so far, and everyone has dramatic differences. Like there's just things about that because we sort of are adapting to wherever we go. So if you're in East LA talking about undocumented people and immigration and the Chicano identity, that just automatically becomes a different show than going to Barrow, Alaska, the northernmost tip in North America, and hanging out with the Inupiaq people who are the natives and talking about what's it like to have 365 days of snow, or whatever, or 360, I don't want to exaggerate. and what's it like to live a place where you can only get to by plane, that you can't drive into town, and there's no movie theater, and there's no Starbucks, there's no, so those are automatically shows you have to approach differently. So it's freeing, and it feels more authentic to me.
So you're at South by, and are you finding like any of those interactions and any fodder for comedy here? I mean, you haven't been here long.
No, I got here yesterday. I mean, this is my 3rd year in a row here, and I was hoping to take this year off, quite frankly.
It's a crazy show.
It's a lot of just, you know, to me, South by Southwest, it feels like a high school reunion with people I didn't go to high school with. Like, just like everybody's just sort of walking around like, I can't believe we made it. And I'm like, we did? I mean, maybe you did, but everybody's sort of silently high-fiving each other, like without just sort of looking each other in the eye like, high five.
As far as like people of color, black people walk, I don't see, it's a very white show from so far.
Well, here's the thing, fellow black men. South by is a lot about money. And whenever you make things a lot about money, like when it costs, I don't know what the badges cost, because luckily I don't have to, I wouldn't come if I had to pay for it. Like I get brought by other people.
All right.
But yeah, whenever you make things expensive, it tends to whiten things up, you know.
Fair enough.
If you know, people make fun of black people for eating chitlins and sort of the worst parts of the pork, but we did that because it was cheaper.
Right.
You know, if chitlins were like $1,000 an ounce, they would be a white people delicacy. It would be like caviar.
I can only imagine.
Yes,
Right.
poor white people can't get in there either, but there just happens to be a higher percentage of poor black people. You know, I'm not breaking it down for you. You know what I'm talking about.
I know. I mean, I've been around to the couple panels, and I feel like there's like more attention paid to diversity, at least these days.
Well, I think, you know, there in the year 2015, if you want to be regarded as an open and accepting and liberal and progressive, you have to sort of at least nod to diversity. So yeah, I've certainly seen people of color with badges on, but not in the same percentage that people of color exist in the country.
Right. What do you look for when you're around here? Like, what catches your eye most often?
I like going to cities and going to the places where people in the city go to. Like, we just ate, and apparently there's the taco trucks that are set up for this festival, and there's taco trucks that are like the locals eat at. So we went to the locals taco truck, at least what they told us it was. There's probably a deeper level of localism that we didn't get to. But, you know, so that's the thing with my TV show. Like, I'm trying to do the things that people in that place do, not the things they've set up for outsiders to do. Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Kwame. Yeah, thank you.